Some people kill for money. Some kill for power. Some kill because they simply cannot stop. But the ones in this episode killed for reasons nobody could ever fully explain. And most of them were never suspected. Not once. These are their stories.
The loving couple. Carol and Gerald Gallego looked like the perfect couple. They went on road trips together. They held hands in public. Their friends described them as deeply in love. Between 1978 and 1980, they kidnapped and murdered 10 people together. Carol would approach young women, sometimes teenagers. She would smile at them, gain their trust, lure them into the couple's van. Gerald would do the rest. What made investigators sick wasn't just the crimes. It was how completely normal they appeared between the killings. They attended parties. They laughed with friends. They planned a future together. They got married while the murders were happening. Carol eventually turned on Gerald. She testified against him in court. She received full immunity. Gerald was sentenced to death. Carol Gallego walked free. She changed her name. She is believed to still be alive today. 10 victims, one couple, both smiling in every single photograph.
The copycat. Most people read crime novels for entertainment. John Edward Robinson read them for inspiration. Robinson was a businessman in Kansas City, married, 4 children, church deacon. He volunteered with the Boy Scouts. Everyone trusted him. Everyone respected him. Between 1984 and 1999, he lured women through personal ads and later through the early internet, promising them jobs, romance, a better life. He killed at least 8 of them. Then he did something that made investigators stop cold. He stored their bodies in barrels, some on his own property, some in a storage unit he rented, under a fake name. One barrel had been sitting in that storage unit for 15 years before anyone found it. 15 years. When police finally searched his properties in 2000, they found the barrels. They found letters from his victims. Love letters. Final letters. Letters that proved everything. Robinson had been killing for 16 years. He was known as the first internet serial killer, using chat rooms to find victims before most people even knew what chat rooms were. He is currently on death row in Kansas. He is 80 years old. He has never fully confessed.
The child. Mary Bell was 10 years old. In the summer of 1968, in Newcastle, England, she strangled 2 boys. One was 4 years old. The other was 3. She did it alone, with her hands. And then she went home for dinner. The day after the first murder, she knocked on the victim's door and asked his mother if she could see him. When the mother told her he was dead, Mary smiled. Investigators who interviewed her said she was the most chilling person they had ever spoken to. Not because she was violent, because she was completely calm. She was convicted of manslaughter, not murder, because of her age. She was released at 23 under a completely new identity. Mary Bell is alive today. She has a daughter and grandchildren. They do not know who she is. She has never reoffended. But the 2 boys she killed in 1968 never got to grow up.
The con man. Ferdinand Waldo Damara had no medical degree, no law degree, no teaching qualifications. Nothing. Between the 1940s and 1960s, he successfully worked as a surgeon in the Royal Canadian Navy, a prison warden in Texas, a monk, a cancer researcher, a teacher,
A lawyer? As a Navy surgeon during the Korean War, he performed complex operations on wounded soldiers. 19 operations. Every single patient survived. He had learned surgery by reading textbooks the night before. When he was finally exposed, judges couldn't figure out what to charge him with. He had harmed nobody. He had actually saved lives. Damara died in 1982. He had lived more lives than most people could imagine, under more names than anyone ever fully counted. The Great Imposter. The man who was everyone. And nobody.
The Cannibal Next Door. Issei Sagawa was a Japanese student studying in Paris in 1981. His neighbors described him as quiet and polite. His professors called him brilliant. He invited a Dutch classmate named Renee Hartefeld to his apartment for a study session. He shot her, and then he did something so disturbing that the French judge who read the case file had to stop twice. French authorities declared him criminally insane. He was committed to a psychiatric institution. Then something happened that has never been fully explained. French authorities deported him to Japan. Japanese psychiatrists evaluated him, declared him sane, and released him. Issei Sagawa walked free in 1986. He became a minor celebrity in Japan. He wrote books, he appeared on television, he reviewed restaurants. He was never charged with any crime in Japan because the French had sealed the evidence when they deported him. The sealed files meant no Japanese court could prosecute him. Issei Sagawa died in 2022, a free man who had never spent a single day in prison for what he did to Renee Hartefeld in 1981.
5 cases. 5 completely different kinds of people. 5 completely different reasons. The couple who killed together and called it love. The businessman who used the internet before anyone else knew to be afraid of it. The 10-year-old who felt nothing. The man who lived 100 lives and harmed no one. And the man who was released because of a paperwork problem. The justice system is built by humans, and humans make mistakes. Some of those mistakes are still walking around today. Subscribe for a new case every week. And remember, normal is just a word.